Well, thank you again for meeting us today. As you know, my name is Heidi, and I am the mother to my angel Addison, who battled brain cancer for 53 months back in 2019 to 2023. My husband and I also run the Addison Sunshine chapter, partnered with The Cure Starts Now. Um, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your afternoon to meet with us and chat about your grant submission on thyroid hormone therapy in combination with chemotherapy for pediatric medulloblastoma. That is a mouthful. Easy words to say, but a mouthful. So before we learn more about that, we want to share some really good news with you. On behalf of The Cure Starts Now, we are so excited to say that we have awarded your grant $50,000.
Oh, wow. Oh my
Yes,
goodness. Thank you so much. Wow. That's so
absolutely.
wonderful.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for your dedication and all that you are doing to help the future families. I cannot wait to see what comes from this, and I'm just truly appreciative of everything that you're doing. I'm going
Well,
to hand this over to
much. This is
Jackie.
incredible.
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Just saying thank you. This is incredible. This is wonderful to have this support.
I'm going to hand this over to Jackie, who would like to say a few words as well.
Hey, Dr. Ronsley, thanks for being here. It's good to meet you. Like Heidi said, I'm Jackie Criswell, and I'm with the Cure Starts Now. I'm the director of chapters and family support. But more importantly, I wear the title of being the proud aunt to Elena, who is a brain cancer angel. Um, your work and what you do, being a family member, this means so much to us, and everything that you research and everything that you put into it. We can't wait to see what comes of it. I did mention I'm director of chapters. Three of our chapters for The Cure Starts Now represent medulloblastoma families. So I know they are very eager to hear about your research. They cannot wait to learn more. So thank you and very much congratulations. Um, I know Keith is going to have some things to say, so I'm going to throw it over to him.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for joining us here today to talk a little bit about your grant. Obviously, I'm Keith. I am the co-founder of The Cure Starts Now. It's a group that's grown over the years. We have about 59 chapters that are supportive of what you're doing. We want to try to help to get the word out, but we also want to try to see the further permutations of this grant because it's got some kind of exciting elements of it, some things that I think really go back to a lot of the um, thoughts that many had in this community about whether there's connections here. And it'd be interesting to kind of explore these. So, once again, congratulations, but I want to learn more about the grant, so I'm going to introduce you to Rachel.
Hello, Dr. Ronsley. My name is Rachel, and I'm the research support coordinator at the Cure Starts Now. And congratulations on your grant. We are very excited for you. It seems like a really interesting idea, and we look forward to seeing the results of the research. So, one question for you, Dr. Ronsley, regarding your grant titled Thyroid Hormone, I can't speak also, Thyroid Hormone Therapy in Combination with Chemotherapy for Pediatric Medulloblastoma. Dr. Ronsley, what makes differentiation therapy with a thyroid hormone such a promising approach for medulloblastoma?
Yeah, so this is actually based on some work by one of my partners on the trial, Dr. Zhang Ji Yang, who's at Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia, and he has been a medulloblastoma biology researcher for a while, and really became interested in this idea that you can do what's called tumor cell differentiation, which is basically turning a rapidly advancing cancer cell into a cell that can have an expiration time and die, which is what cells are supposed to do. And so he tried a lot of different things. And one of the things that was really interesting that he tried was activated thyroid hormone, which is LT3 or liothyronine, and found that this actually induced tumor cell differentiation specifically in medulloblastoma. So it didn't seem to work in other cancers, but it was working in medulloblastoma. And he was actually able to show in different medulloblastoma genetic groups that it worked in multiple groups, which is really exciting because we know that there's different biology even within medulloblastoma itself. And then he tried it and compared it to chemotherapy, which is our tried and true treatment for medulloblastoma, and actually found it worked better. And then when we combined them both together they were even better than the T3 alone. And this was in the lab. And he was able to then use mouse models, which are imperfect models of human beings, but they're some of the best that we have to before we bring this to humans, and show that actually the mice really tolerated it well, and there was very limited toxicity, which is exciting because you may or may not be familiar with, I'm sure you are, but medulloblastoma treatment is very, very toxic. And on the one hand, it carries a really good survival. About 70 to 80% of kids, depending on the genetic subgroup, survive with our current therapy with medulloblastoma. And there's sort of two areas we felt there was unmet need. One, as clinicians, one is what about the kids that relapse? We do not have good therapies in the relapse setting. And so we're interested in some novel therapeutic approaches. And then two, is there any way we can identify some less toxic therapies that ultimately can reduce the survivorship burden that these kids and young adults experience? So we were really encouraged by the lab data from Dr. Yang's lab. We've been partnering with him for a few years in developing this trial, and it's been a really special partnership from the clinician and the lab side to really kind of design the trial as the lab work is being done. And we hope that, this has really been a team effort to come together and create a trial that really makes sense, will be hopefully low burden as much as we can on families, because that's important to us too. We looked at different chemotherapy schedules that would reduce the number of times kids have to be in clinic, and just kind of thinking through some of those practical aspects. So it's a long answer to your question just to say, we think that T3, at least in the lab, shows it may address both those things. One, it may be a novel therapy for those currently untreatable kids with medulloblastoma and young adults. And two, it may actually be a less toxic therapy option. So our trial is first and foremost going to take it for the first time to human beings. So the first part is what's called a phase 1 lead-in, where we're going to establish the safety and the maximum tolerated dose of this T3, which is actually it's not the same thyroid hormone that we currently use when kids are hypothyroid or adults are hypothyroid to replace. It's actually the activated form, which is what T4 is, the thyroid hormone we replace with hypothyroidism, and T3 is the activated form that the body converts it to. T3 is actually a drug that exists. It's an older drug that had been used for hypothyroidism, and for a variety of just practical reasons, isn't the current approach for hypothyroidism. But it is a well-established drug that we know how to prescribe, we know how to use. It's actually available at Costco and Walmart and other places. So, we're taking this and looking at what's the maximum tolerated dose in combination with chemotherapy in this population. Then, once that's established, we're going to be looking at the efficacy. So, what is the actual effect? How effective is it on treating the medulloblastoma? And then we're also going to be looking at a separate group. There is a group of patients with medulloblastoma right now that have what's called liquid biopsy positive disease. So it's microscopic disease we can detect in the CSF on the molecular level. And right now, as clinicians, we don't really know what to do with those. When their MRI is clear, but their CSF is positive, and some data out of St. Jude actually showed those kids are very high risk for relapse. And so as a clinician, we go, should we be treating them now or wait for them to relapse? Should they get extra therapy after? And so we're going to actually treat them as a study question, as a separate cohort, just with T3 alone, in the hopes we're exposing them to less toxicity and looking at whether this may actually prevent relapse in that particular high-risk group. And we're partnering with the St. Jude team for that portion of it as well, because they were really the ones that did that landmark study that showed, at least in retrospect, that this was an important prognostic factor for relapse. So those are sort of the three prongs of our study, right, of our trial.
Wow,
Fantastic.
that's amazing. Oh, go ahead, Keith.
Well, I was going to say fantastic. I mean, and that's what we want to see. This is a much bigger project than even just this beginning stage of it, and we're excited to see how this grows from here on out.
Thank you so much for the support. We're really, really grateful. I mean, you guys do such important work, and the fundraising is so important that you all do. Thank you.
We appreciate it. And just to help out with this, it looks like Lindsay is in the waiting room, and I've been messaging her on the side and saying, "Hold on, hold on. I want to make sure that Dr. Onsley can or Rebecca can finish the thought with it." But I don't know if you want to tell Dr. Kilburn about our call, Dr. Onsley, or do you want me to tell her?
Sure. Well, you may know Dr. Lindsay Kilburn. She's a neuro-oncologist at Children's National. She's my partner in this trial. And Lindsay, we just heard the Cure Starts Now has awarded us a really big check of $50,000 to start our
Amazing.
trial. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
So
Thank you.
Not a
we
bad way to enter a Zoom call, is it?
No, not at all. That's incredible news. Thank you so much. Wow, that's super exciting. We're so excited about this trial and, really working hard to get it open and ready for patients. But obviously, the funding is often the hard part, especially in the current environment. So, so grateful for that.
we appreciate what you guys do, and welcome to the call. This is nice.
Sorry, I was running back from seeing a patient, so I apologize. I joined a couple of minutes late and I was hoping I
Oh,
didn't kind of do something
oh no,
incorrect. So I'm glad.
we wanted to get you in this. So anyway,
Thanks.
Like a lot of I think the best work that we do in our field, I mean, this trial has been a real team effort. It's a real special team. I mentioned Dr. Yang's work that started it off, but we also have a really sort of uniquely committed team. We have a pediatric cardiologist and endocrinologist who are really engaged, helping us to make sure we're keeping, kids as safe as possible while we're doing this new therapy. And Dr. Kilburn and I, are partnering and leading this. And the other part I didn't mention, the other sort of fourth prong of our trial, if I can say that, is we feel really strongly that families give us such an incredible gift when they agree to be part of a clinical trial, and we really want to use kind of everything we can to learn as much as possible. And so we've actually partnered with functional imaging experts, correlative studies experts to look at the various things we can learn from CSF, both about how the tumor may be changing, how the treatment's affecting it, how the side effects may be showing up in different ways. So we have other sort of other planned analyses beyond just the is it safe and does it work questions that we're asking. And it's a really, really special team actually spanning sort of all over the country, various institutions.
well, the most promising projects are ones that we fund, and then they say, "But we're not done yet." So I guess that's the best way to end it.